Before the mosque was completed, the Prophet ﷺ stayed in the home of Abu Ayyub al-Ansari. Abu Ayyub welcomed him with great happiness and respect. The Prophet ﷺ chose to stay on the lower floor so visitors could reach him easily, while Abu Ayyub and his family stayed upstairs. Every day, food was prepared with care, and everything in the house was done with love for the Messenger of Allah ﷺ. This simple home became the place where many early visitors came to meet the Prophet, ask questions, and learn about Islam. Now that the mosque had been built and the dust of construction had settled, a new kind of life began in Medina. Not a life of stones and walls, but a life of faith, learning, justice, and brotherhood. The city no longer moved only with trade and farming. Now, it moved with prayer, with kindness, and with remembrance of Allah. And at the center of it all stood the Messenger of Allah ﷺ. Every day, the Prophet ﷺ sat with his companions in the mosque. He did not teach with harshness. He taught with love. He recited the Quran slowly, clearly, with meaning in each word. Some companions memorized the verses in their hearts. Others carefully wrote them on bones, leather, and palm stalks. He reminded them, learn gently, teach gently, and make the Quran easy for the people. The young learned beside the elders. The rich sat beside the poor. In Medina, knowledge belonged to everyone. The Prophet ﷺ established one of the greatest acts of unity in history. He paired every immigrant, Muhājir, with a helper, Ansār. They became brothers in faith, sharing homes, food, and wealth. One man said to his brother, I have 2 gardens, choose one for yourself. Another said, half of all I own is yours. The Prophet ﷺ's community was founded not on blood or tribe, but on love, sacrifice, and faith in Allah. The Prophet ﷺ then gathered representatives of all tribes, Muslims, Jews, and others, to establish the first written constitution in Arabian history. It was known as the Sahifa of Medina. It stated that all people of Medina, regardless of faith, would live in peace and protect one another from injustice. The Prophet declared, the believers are one community to the exclusion of others. This document secured justice, harmony, and mutual respect, a model for future generations. The Prophet ﷺ was not a leader who stayed hidden. He walked the streets, he visited homes, he listened to complaints, he smiled with children, he wiped the tears of the lonely, he helped carry every load, he sat with the poor, he ate like a servant, he lived with humility. He taught, the best of you are those who are best to others. If someone was hungry, he made sure they were fed. If someone was sick, he made sure they were visited. If someone was sad, he made sure they were comforted. He said, the believer is like a single body. When one part hurts, the whole body feels the pain. Under his leadership, people did not fear authority. They trusted it. The markets changed. Cheating slowly disappeared. Truthfulness became the norm. Neighbors checked on each other. Orphans were honored. Women were respected, and the weak were protected. Even those who were not Muslims felt the safety of his justice. Medina was no longer just a city. It had become a moral community. A society built on faith, love, and brotherhood under the guidance of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.